You're a new EMT and you get on scene. Your partner gets right to work on the patient, and you find yourself just standing there because you don't know exactly what you should be doing at that moment. If that sounds familiar, in this video, I'm going to share with you a basic strategy so that doesn't have to keep happening. This situation happens a lot to new EMTs, and some of y'all who've been around a while are probably sitting there going, ooh. The truth is, most of the people that you work with did it too when they started out. So don't beat yourself up. Don't sweat it. We'll get through this. So I got this during a conversation I had with a medic named Joe Rotunda. He basically said there are 3 things that you have to do on every call that you transport a patient. And those 3 things are patient care, demos, and extrication. So before we go over each one, I just want to take note. The first is, this is not a step-by-step progression. Sometimes one or more things will take priority over the other, or sometimes more than one will be taken care of simultaneously. The second thing is that this is focused on a single patient, but can be adapted for multiple patients. And the third thing is that sometimes more than one person will be taking care of one of these aspects. Let's go over each one. Patient care. This is done by the crew member who has primary contact with the patient. Here we're talking to the patient, we're asking about their chief complaint, we're getting vitals, you know, that whole thing. So this is the one that new EMTs immediately jump to and get bogged down when their partner gets to it first. If your partner's already doing patient care, communicate with them. See if they need a hand. If they don't, let them know that you're going to be taking care of one of the other two. Yes, it sucks when your partner just stands there, but it especially sucks when you need your partner and they're nowhere to be found. So make sure you communicate with them. All right, so we have demos. Demos is short for demographics. So this is the patient's name, birth date, social security number, insurance information, can also include medical history and a list of medications. So this information you're going to be getting from people on scene. So family members, friends, other first responders who happen to get there first, like fire or PD. And you'll need this information to fill out your PCR or your run forms. Well, what if there's no one else on scene? In those cases, just start playing detective. Just start looking around the house or the scene to see how much information you can find. So you may be asking yourself some questions, like, what are we looking for? We're looking for IDs, we're looking for mail that's addressed to the patient if the patient can't communicate with us, we're looking for packages or bottles of medications, or even discharge papers from a recent hospital visit. So next, where do we find it? You may find a list on the refrigerator, you might find on the countertops, tables, end tables, kitchen cabinets, or bathroom cabinets, especially for medications. And finally, we have extrication. Normally, extrication is getting an entrapped patient out of a motor vehicle, or the all too common larger frame patient who has somehow slipped into that tiny spot pinned between the toilet bowl and the tub. Yeah, it's almost like the Bermuda Triangle, that little spot. But in this instance, we're merely talking about getting the patient out from where they currently are to the ambulance. So some of the questions you're going to want to ask yourself here is, what's the easiest way to get the patient to the stretcher and the stretcher to the ambulance? You could even ask the family. There might be a ramp out back that you didn't see. Another question would be, can I get the stretcher to the patient? If not, set the stretcher up as close as you can and prepare it with a sheet, drop it down, side rails down, straps undone, and the foot of the stretcher pointing towards the ambulance. This way you can get the patient right on it and not have to mess around with it too much. And go. Is the patient on the first floor, second floor, 10th floor? We may need a stair chair or a canvas stretcher. Whatever the best way is, figure that out and you could go grab that from the ambulance. Are the pathways clear for you and the patient to get to the stretcher and get to the ambulance? If not, do your best to make it clear and make it safe. Are there any safety hazards, like a rickety old staircase that'll only hold the weight of one person? Because that sure as hell ain't gonna hold the weight of you, your partner, a 125-pound stretcher, and a patient. And I don't know why, but usually in these situations, the patient ends up being like 300 plus pounds. I don't know, it just happens. Seriously though, be safe, be aware, and be careful. So these are just examples of some of the things you have to consider and deal with when moving a patient from wherever they are to the ambulance. If you have any other tips to help new EMTs get away from the on-scene freeze, please drop them down below in the comments section. All right, let's lock this down. There are 3 jobs to do on scene: patient care, demos, and extrication. Make sure you communicate with your partner. See if they need a hand. If they need a hand, help them. If not, communicate with them and let them know what you're going to do, which would be one of the other two. You and your partner are a team, and by working together will make your shift so much easier, and therefore making the stressful job we do that much less stressful, as well as building respect between you and your partner because they know they can depend on you and you've got their back. If any of this helps you on scene, I'd love to hear about it. If you have a partner that does the on-scene freeze, feel free to drop this strategy on them. If you don't feel like explaining it to them, share the video with them. And if you know of anybody that might be able to help, share this video with them. If you got anything from this video, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notifications for all the juicy tidbits we got coming up. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you at the next video.